Today we will discuss the drug carbamazepine. Carbamazepine it's the first line and most commonly used antiepileptic. It's a first line drug and most commonly used antiepileptic drug. So this carbamazepine introduced in 1960 primarily for the treatment of trigeminal neuralgia. It was introduced in 1960 for the treatment of trigeminal neuralgia. And carbamazepine, it is an immunostimulin chemically related to the tricyclic antidepressants. It's an immunostimulin related to the tricyclic antidepressants. And carbonyl group, which is present at 5 position or 5th position, which is required or necessary for the anticonvulsant action, or we can say that which is responsible for its anticonvulsant action. Carbonyl group at the position 5. Now, what is the mechanism of action of carbamazepine? Carbamazepine, it exerts its antiepileptic action by affecting the ionic fluxes. How it exerts its antiepileptic action? By affecting the ionic fluxes. Ionic fluxes means it will going to act on the sodium channels, voltage gated sodium channels or voltage sensitive sodium channels or use dependent sodium channels, whatever you can see. So this is what is sodium channels: resting phase of sodium channel, activated phase of sodium channel, and inactivated phase of sodium channel. As you can see, this is the activation gate, this is the inactivation gate. Activation gate is also called as M gate, or inactivation gate is also called as H gate. This is what is sodium ion. In resting phase, the activation gate is closed. Activation gate is closed, so it will not going to allow the entry of sodium ion inside the neuron. This is the neuronal membrane. This is the neuronal membrane. So it will not going to enter, the sodium ion will not going to enter in the resting phase. So when it will get enter, when the sodium ion is in the activated phase, the sodium ion will enter into the exoplasm, and what will happen? There is a depolarization occurs, and there is a occurrence of depolarization, and there is a conduction of nerve impulse, generation and conduction of nerve impulse, right? Within few milliseconds, what happens? The inactivation get closed, and it will not going to allow the entry of sodium ion. It will not going to allow the entry of sodium ion, and this is what is occurs normally. Means what is the sequence of the phases of the sodium channel? Initially there is a resting phase, then there is activated phase, then there is an inactivated phase. Again that sodium channel goes into the resting phase, right? From inactivated phase, again that goes to the resting phase. Now all these drugs like carbamazepine, phenytoin, sodium valproate, lamotrigine, topiramate, zonisamide, lacosamide, what they do? They binds to the voltage sensitive or voltage gated sodium channel. What they do? They bind to the voltage gated sodium channel, or it is also called as use dependent sodium channel, and it prolongs the inactivated state of sodium channel. Here you can see it prolongs the inactivated state of the sodium channel. So what happens? It prevents the further entry of sodium into the neurons. So what will happen? And this is called as the membrane stabilizing action of carbamazepine and all these drugs. They will stabilize the neuronal membrane. By preventing the further entry of sodium into the neuron. That means we can say that it will prolong the inactivated state of the sodium channels. right? And we call it as a membrane stabilizing action, and because of its membrane stabilizing action, it will limit the repetitive firing of the excitatory neurons. It will limit the repetitive firing of the excitatory neurons, or we can say that, and that's how it will reduce or prevent the spread of seizure threshold. How it will prevent or reduce the spread of seizure threshold? By inhibiting the initiation and propagation of the nerve impulse. By inhibiting initiation and propagation of the nerve impulse, or we can say it will limit the repetitive firing of excitatory neurons by stabilizing the neuronal membrane. That's why these drugs are called, or they are having membrane stabilizing action. So this is the mechanism of the carbamazepine, right? Now we'll see the pharmacokinetic properties and actions of carbamazepine are similar to phenytoin. Actions are similar to phenytoin, but carbamazepine produces active metabolite 10,11 epoxy carbamazepine. It produces active metabolite, that is the 10,11 epoxy carbamazepine, right? Pharmacokinetic properties: absorption means absorption is slow and erratic when it is given orally. On oral administration, absorption is slow and erratic, but still it shows oral bioavailability nearly 100%. Oral bioavailability is almost 100%, and it achieves peak plasma concentration in 6 hours. It achieves peak plasma concentration in 6 hours. It will distributed widely in all tissues including cerebrospinal fluid. Plasma protein binding is 75%, and most importantly CSF concentration is almost equal to the plasma concentration. That means it achieves therapeutic concentration in the cerebrospinal fluid, and it metabolizes to its active metabolite. What is the name of active metabolite? 10,11 epoxy carbamazepine by oxidation reaction in the liver, and this active metabolite is metabolized by the glucuronidation reaction. It will get, this active metabolite is deactivated, or we can say it will metabolized by the reaction that is called as the glucuronidation. They are also metabolized by hydroxylation and conjugation reaction by hepatic CYP3A4 enzymes. They will metabolized by hydroxylation and conjugation by CYP3A4 enzymes. That means carbamazepine is a potent microsomal enzyme inducer. How come it is a potent microsomal enzyme inducer? Because it is metabolized by the CYP3A4 enzyme, right? So if it is a microsomal enzyme inducer or a potent microsomal enzyme inducer, so what happens? There is a auto induction of the drug, means it will induces its own metabolism. It will induces its own metabolism, that is called as auto induction. So plasma concentration of carbamazepine will decrease because it will induces its own metabolism, right? Now phenytoin and carbamazepine. Phenytoin and carbamazepine, when they are given together, it will decrease the concentration of each other. When they are given together or they are simultaneously when they are given, it decreases the concentration of each other drugs. Carbamazepine decreases the concentration of sodium valproate. It will decrease the concentration of sodium valproate. And the drugs like isoniazid, erythromycin, cimetidine, fluoxetine, propoxyphene, lamotrigine, they inhibit the metabolism of carbamazepine, and they increase the plasma concentration of the carbamazepine, and that's why there is a chance of toxicity. These are the related drug interactions. First of all, carbamazepine will auto-induce its own enzymes, and it will increase the metabolism of its own. that is called as autoinduction. When phenytoin and carbamazepine, they are given together, both are microsomal enzyme inducers, so they will decrease concentration of each other, plasma concentration of each other drugs. Carbamazepine, when it is given with sodium valproate, it decreases the concentration of sodium valproate, and these are the microsomal enzyme inhibitors, so they will inhibit the metabolism of carbamazepine, and that's how they increase the plasma concentration, and there is a chance of toxicity. Now these are the drug interactions. Now we'll see the clinical uses of carbamazepine. It is the, as I told you, they are the most commonly and first line drug for the psychomotor epilepsy and temporal lobe epilepsy. It's a first line drug or drug of choice for the psychomotor epilepsy or temporal lobe epilepsy, and it's a drug of choice for the grand mal epilepsy and partial seizures, in which there is a simple partial seizure and complex partial seizures. So these are the, what we can say, epileptic uses, clinical uses of carbamazepine. It's a first line drug for the psychomotor epilepsy, or it's also called as the temporal lobe epilepsy, and is a drug of choice in the grand mal epilepsy and partial seizures like simple partial or complex partial seizures. Effective anti-epileptic plasma concentration is 6 to 12 microgram per ml. That is the effective anti-epileptic plasma concentration. Dose is 600 to 1200 milligram oral in 2 to 3 divided doses. 600 to 1200 milligram oral in 2 to 3 divided doses, and in children's 15 to 30 milligram per kg. These are the anti-epileptic doses. Now we have some non-epileptic uses, like it is the drug of choice in the trigeminal neuralgia and glossopharyngeal neuralgia because of its membrane stabilizing action. Manic depressive psychosis, it will prevent the maniac episodes in the bipolar disorder. That's why it is also preferred in manic depressive psychosis, because it will prevent the maniac episodes in bipolar disorder. Right? It is also used in diabetes insipidus because it causes hyponatremia due to release of antidiuretic hormone, because ADH like action, so it is effective in the diabetes insipidus because of its ADH like action. Now what precautions you have to take? Phenytoin and carbamazepine may aggravate the myoclonic seizures. Phenytoin and carbamazepine may aggravate the myoclonic seizures. That's why they are contraindicated, or they should be avoided in myoclonic seizures. Now what are the adverse effects of carbamazepine? When it is given orally, it causes nausea, vomiting, then sedation, drowsiness, vertigo, ataxia, confusion. It also causes diplopia, blurring of vision. These are the common adverse effects of the carbamazepine, like nausea, vomiting is common. Sedation, when it crosses blood-brain barrier, so CNS side effects like sedation, drowsiness, vertigo. There is ataxia, confusion. There is diplopia, blurring of vision. Hypersensitivity reactions like skin rash, eosinophilia, lymphadenopathy, hepatitis. These are the hypersensitivity reactions are also common with this carbamazepine. Rarely it causes bone marrow depression. So hematological side effects like neutropenia, aplastic anemia, or granulocytosis. This is because of bone marrow depression, but it is very rare. Signs of acute toxicity like depression, stupor, coma, convulsions. These are the signs of acute toxicity of the carbamazepine. And when it is given for a prolonged period on chronic therapy, it causes hyponatremia because there is a release of antidiuretic hormone. Because of release of antidiuretic hormone, it may cause hyponatremia, and because due to release of antidiuretic hormone, it is also used in diabetes insipidus. That's all for today. Thank you.